Welcome back. Today we're going to talk about the things that you need to do before you learn to jump. These are the steps that need to be done. None of the videos on YouTube I was looking at show any of these things, which is super important, and you don't even want to leave your house before you do these, so stay tuned. All right, so first thing you want to do, one of the most important things to do is to put air in your tires, and we're going to put 30 psi's in the rear and 26 in the front. So that's the main thing. This is the main thing you need to do, step one, before you even try to attempt to jump. Make sure your air pressure is good. So I got about 30 psi's for the rear tire. You could do 32, 34, make it hard. So the thing about jumping is that you need to have harder tires so they don't fold when you go off the lip and when you land. So anytime you're doing a jump park or anything like that section, you're going to have run a little bit more air pressure than you would for like any other type of downhill trail. And then the front, we do 26 psi's. Now certain tires, 26 feels pretty soft. So other tires, 26 is pretty hard. So just kind of, you want to get in that, 26, 28 range, maybe 25 at the lowest, but any lower. And again, you're going to fold the tires when you go off the lip or when you land on the landing. So you want to make sure you got tires with good sidewalls that are going to support your weight when you land and your takeoff. All right, so that was the first thing. Is checking your air pressure. Now if your air pressure is too low in the front, like I said, it's going to fold off the lip and it's going to get you going sideways, not the sideways you want. So super important to do that first before you even go out to jump. Make sure your tire pressure is good. If you need somebody else to feel the pressure, like what's good is like if you could find somebody that knows how to jump a little bit better than you, obviously, and ask them if the tires feel okay, but for the most part, if you stick with the 26-30, it should be fine. I'll show you the video what happens when it's too soft. You can watch that now. Oh shit. Okay. All right, the second thing you want to do is check your suspension. Your suspension cannot be soft. It cannot be hard. It has to be just perfect for jumping. It has to be very balanced. The front and the rear need to be balanced. And in order for you to find out if it's balanced, it's like, again, you're gonna have to find somebody that knows how to jump and say, hey, jump on my bike. How does my suspension feel for jumping? That's the way you're gonna find out. If your suspension is too soft in the front, it'll buck you. Your chances of getting bucked, which is very high, right? You could also tuck the front when you land. So if your front suspension is too soft, your front wheel will dig in suspension and you'll go flying over the bars because of that. Obviously the front fork is diving too much and your weight's going to go too far forward. So you want to make sure your front fork has enough air. Now the same for the back. If you have too much air in the rear, you're going to get bucked. So you want to make sure your rear shock is just right. And so a lot of times you're not going to really know. I guess you could follow the SAG procedures. I don't really follow SAG procedures, but a good thing to do is just have one of your buddies, don't give your bike to a stranger because they'll probably just take off with it maybe if you live in a rougher neighborhood. But find somebody who's jumping, say, hey, can you jump my bike? Just let me know if the suspension's fine. And then, you could be confident that your suspension's good, your tires are good. Okay, so once that's done, we're gonna go find the perfect jump for you to learn to off of. All right, third thing, most important thing is your body position. You must always maintain a very good body position. And so what happens is a lot of times the jumps, as you get better, you're gonna wanna put more weight on the front wheel, and you're gonna wanna use your body weight to compress the suspension more into the jump. But for the most part, if you're hitting the jump for the first time, you want to lean back. I always lean back first, because I never know what it's really going to do to my bike. So body position is very important. We're going to go over some of that body position here in the jumps. There's a jump in front of us here. So one of your first jumps you want to do, this one's kind of at an angle. You're not going to really want to hit this one. Somehow it got destroyed. But this one here has a double, which you don't want to hit doubles in your first go around. So see the gap there? So you want to find a tabletop or a flat landing. Now the tabletops and the flat landing will be safe for you to hit at any speed. You're going to have to get comfortable hitting jumps at certain speed. Obviously the faster you go, the more risk you put in there, but the slower you go, then also if there's a double, you're not going to make it, so it's kind of a risk there too. So you want to get the right balance. Now what I found is the really good high-end bike parks, they have these jumps that are pretty balanced. You know, if you hit them at a certain speed, you're going to be fine. Some of the smaller bike parks and jump lines, people, sometimes the novices, you know, they go and they make these jumps and then you hit them at a certain speed and you overclear them or it bucks you. So you know, you want to go to a good bike park to learn how to jump as well. They have some, they're usually pretty safe, and there's people there you could follow off and, you know, tow you in on these jumps. But let's go find a jump that has a nice flat transition, because that's what you want to do. You want no lip at first. You want to just get comfortable with speed and distance, and then we'll go from there. Now here's a perfect jump for you to learn off of. You see this transition here? See, it's nice and flat. Now the landing here is a little sketchy. So this one's going to be a little bit, probably is not as much as for beginners, but we're going to jump this anyways, just to show you the idea. So you got this nice transition. There's no lip, there's nothing there. Remember, a lot of times what you want to do is you want to be able to build your own jumps, have your own spot where you could, you know, create the lips you want, create the jump you want, have, hopefully you live somewhere where there's good clay dirt. Obviously here in Vegas, there's not really much clay dirt here. It's just rock, so it's kind of tiring and it doesn't really mold very well. So what you could do is find a good spot, start digging, make your little jump, maybe a few feet, and no lip, you know, just straight, just a straight slope like this. And then you want to hit it fast and faster and faster, and see, line it, find out where your tire lands and keep going and hitting that. So you just get comfortable jumping, knowing what your bike does, and then from there you could build the lip into, and then see what happens. You know, you're not going to need as much speed, and your back end's going to come up, and you're going to hop a little bit higher in the air, but get a little bit more air, you know, and that's more advanced. You're going to need to put more body weight into this transition and compress suspension and all that stuff. But for now, we're just learning how to jump, and we're going to do the basics. So here we go. All right, we're going to hit this good speed. We're going to do body just normal attack position. We're going to go off with the rear weight on the rear. See that? All right, well, that's a flat transition, pretty basic. You could lean back a little bit on your first couple tries, but for the most part, just put neutral body position. You're not gonna do anything fancy. Hit it straight, land straight, you'll be fine. Here's another jump here we're gonna show you. This one's a smaller jump, and it does have a little bit of transition, so let me show you here. So this one, it's tiny, it's like half a foot, but you know, these little tiny ones could get you, so be careful more with these little ones, and then possibly the bigger ones, like that one over there. Let me get it. That one's there. That's almost the whole bike length of. These ones are, you could only probably get one wheel at a time on these jumps. So this one here, you got to be very careful. This one's also very easy. It's not too crazy, but when you hit these at super high speed, these will buck you for sure. So you got to make sure anytime you learn these new jumps, you lean back. That's the number one thing I want you to do, is lean back first when you hit any jump for the first time. See if it bucks you, hit it a little faster, lean back, no buck. Then you can start putting your front wheel, your weight on your front wheel, which is, you get that pop and you get the style off of there. So what we're going to do is we're going to show you the pop and the style. So this thing here has transition right at the very bottom of it. It's very minimal, but it's enough, right? So what you want to do is, when you start getting more advanced on the jumps, you put more weight on the front wheel. When you get into this bottom part of the transition, you start putting your weight into that front wheel and your suspension. You compress your suspension, and once you compress your suspension, right when you get to the lip here, you extend yourself to release the compression, so you're like jumping at the same time, like a actual like a bunny hop, right? So so what you do is you come in here, you compress, you release the compression, you kind of get your body, you know, you're not so in the attack position anymore. You're releasing it, all your limbs, and getting them in the air. Not releasing your limbs, but you know, extending your limbs. And then what you're doing is you're waiting for when you land, you have your extended limbs to absorb the landing, right? And so what you could do is, once you start doing your compression, a lot of times people, they tilt their wheels just a little bit, and that's how you get your little whip in there. And so we're going to show you the compression part of it, and we'll go ahead and do a little bit of style on it. All right, this is what I mean. You're gonna come in here, you have more, your body weight's going to be over the front. You want to compress your suspension right when you hit this part of the transition. And then navigate your rear weight, a little bit to the rear shock. You want to compress that as well. And then once this is compressed here as well, you want to lift up, lighten up your load to get over the jump there. So I hope you can hear me. I don't have a mic, so hope that sounded clear. But basically, you just put body position. That's the number 3 thing, and that's the most important thing you want to do. Front suspension, get your suspension to set inside of this transition. Release your suspension, extend your limbs, and get ready for the landing. Absorb the landing by squatting and taking some of that landing pressures off of your bike and onto you, you know. So that's pretty much it. These are just small little basic jumps. This is a basic kind of video, and we'll start showing you how to do some whips maybe later on and stuff like that. But for now, I just want you guys to get over the jump safely and make sure your bike's set up correctly. So you got 3 critical things that need to be done: tires, your suspension, and your body position are the 3 things. So I don't know, those other videos are telling you so much as different things, right? But these are, to me, the most important things, and I wouldn't leave the house without doing these things first, and then finding a good jump, making your good jump. And that's pretty much it. So I hope you got some kind of learning out of this. And if you have any questions, just leave a comment on the YouTube, and then I'll go ahead and get back and respond if I need to. But all right, hope you like this video. If you find it informative, and please give a thumbs up. Thanks. Bye.